People love to talk and say they're going to do certain things. They say, I'm going to start a YouTube channel, or, I got this New Year's resolution to go to the gym and get healthy. I'm going to read the Bible this year. I'm going to read the whole thing, or just whatever. Here's an idea. Stop lying to yourself. Stop lying to other people. Stop talking about what you're going to do and just freaking do it. Just get to work. I know it feels great to talk to people and brag about how successful you're going to be. The idea of it sounds great, the idea of just talking about it and like people holding you accountable or whatever, but when it actually comes to like putting in the work, you forget about it and like you want the outcome without the grind it takes to get there. If you're like me, maybe you were like one of those kids that was really good in school, very intelligent academically, such that you became a perfectionist in life. You wait for the perfect time, the perfect circumstance or opportunity to make that move. You don't really take risks until you have perfect knowledge. You just keep researching and researching, obsessing about the idea of chasing your dreams, but never actually doing it. Just talking about how you're going to do it in the future, but that future never really comes. Well, let me just say this. You do not need to have perfect knowledge. You just need to start. You need to try and then fail. Learn from your failure. You're going to learn along the way. Just move on. Just grow from your mistakes. The great investor Charlie Munger once said, it's better to be consistently not stupid than occasionally intelligent. Just as when I got started with investing a few years ago, I never would have made the progress that I did now if I didn't start. I didn't have perfect knowledge when I started, but I just chose to take small steps, start investing a little bit a month, trying things like individual stocks and crypto, and having some failures at first, and then eventually finding, safe, reliable investments like index funds and things like that. I'll often try to talk to people at work about investing because, we have a 401k match like most companies do. And, I'll ask people like, hey, did you sign up for the new 401k? That's free money. You can't pass up on free money like that. And people are like, oh, no, man, I don't really know where to start. I don't know much about investing. I'm kind of afraid I'll lose money. Everyone I knew who did stocks in the past, they lost money and stuff like that. And as it is with investing, so are most disciplines in life. We can be so afraid of getting started, afraid that we're going to lose something. But getting started is better than no action at all, or just waiting for more knowledge or whatever. Like, just get started. People act like, I've especially seen this in like church culture, Christian culture. People act like God is supposed to speak to them personally or like show up to them in like a vision and tell them exactly what the path of their life is supposed to look like. And if it's anything less than that, if it's like I don't have some kind of supernatural vision or whatever, well, then life is over. Like I can't move forward with anything. I mean, I don't deny that God can do miraculous things, but I also think that he wants us to work with what he has given to us already. And I think that's what moving forward in faith looks like. And I think we should pray for certain outcomes, sure, but there needs to be like effort on our part to become the person that God has already called us to be with the things that he has given us. And you can learn about God's will in the Bible. It's very common in our age of entertainment. We just watch other people do great things, and we never seek to make an impact on the world in our own lives. You ever seen people like obsessed with sports? And to be fair, I like watching hockey, baseball, sometimes football or whatever, maybe the Super Bowl. But at the end of the day, it's not my life. I'm just spectating someone else's life. Some people make sports their whole life, and it's almost sad in a way. They obsess over this one athlete. They have all this merch. They wear his jersey on game day as if another man's life and when he plays on a field is dictating your life. And now with sports betting being even more common, I see this becoming even more popular. People just obsess over what's going on that field. It's even more typical to see grown men shouting at their TVs when they don't hit their parlay or whatever. But let me ask you something, like would Shohei Ohtani ever wear your jersey? Listen, I know that Shohei is probably the GOAT of baseball, like such a legend, and everyone loves this dude. He's great. But just for the sake of example, do you know like all of his stats? Like, oh man, Shohei pitched this no-hitter and hit 10 RBIs, first guy in history to do this. Like, there are people who live and breathe another man's stats and accomplishments with all their time. Like, all this stats about baseball and stuff like that, and you're not making 50K a year. Like, you're not doing anything to enhance your life. You're not healthy. You're not going to the gym or eating healthy or whatever. Like, it's crazy to see people who are just so obsessed with another man's life. Like, don't you want to do anything with yours? You have all this time that you're using to watch other people play around on a field who make millions, by the way, to entertain you, and your life wastes away at a 9 to 5. there's nothing wrong with starting out in a 9 to 5, but eventually, like, don't you want to escape and do something more with your life, to chase your passions, pursue your own goals? Don't you want to start investing your money so you can build up an FU fund? Don't you want to create passive income streams? How about pressing record and starting a YouTube channel? Haven't you always wanted to do that and share your creative ideas with the world? Just try stuff and see what happens. Even if you're not ready to start your own business or something like that, you can make better use of your time. You can start a side hustle. You can even just DoorDash to make some side income. I've literally done DoorDash for 6 years now, at least a few hours a week, make an extra 10K a year. That's not bad. Very easy money if you have a decent car. I know some people also have success with Uber as well. I think you do need a newer car for that. You could take on new hobbies that are productive for your health and your mental capacity. Learn a new language. Duolingo is a great resource for this because you get to speak it, memorize vocabulary, appeals to hearing, reading, and speaking like that. I'm learning Portuguese personally right now because, as I've said in a previous video, I kind of want to travel to Brazil sometime this year. But yeah, learning a new language, it keeps your mind sharp, it activates different neural pathways, keeps your mind active and working. If you don't train your mind with mental activities, all the brain rot from our culture, from social media, it's going to deteriorate your mental capacity. You need a detox from all the brain rot, TikTok nonsense. Highly recommend learning a new language. And then when you get a chance to travel, maybe you actually know how to communicate with people in different countries. Very cool thing. Learning a musical instrument. This is something I've done most of my life as well. That's also a great way to keep your mind occupied. I've played guitar for 12 years, drums for probably 15 plus, and I'm really good. It's a lot of fun. It's a useful skill to make money performing music as well. There needs to be things like this in your life that you can do for fun. Maybe not gaming too much. I understand I'm using gaming footage in the background here, but there's a purpose for that. I'm recording it for these videos. I play with friends, a few hours a week. Going out to a bar, getting wasted, smoking trees, stupid, immature stuff. Like, don't get into this kind of stuff. I hear people talking about this stuff all the time at work, and I don't understand how people can live like that. It's all about the weekend. We hate life so much, so we're just waiting until the weekend so we can escape from our miserable lives, drown it in alcohol, drugs, and sex. But as for me, and I hope as for you, my friend, that's not your life. I hope you recognize that God has called you higher. There's so much more out of life that you should be looking for. Man, I feel like I'm cooking a little bit in this video. I started talking about one thing, and here we are reevaluating our entire existence and why we're here. But that's okay. I don't care if this angers you. I am, at the end of the day, preaching to myself, reminding myself that I don't want to be lazy with my time, reminding myself who I don't want to become and the things that I should be pursuing. I'm interested in making a living with my life, not making a dying, because that's where most people are, slowly dying at work, stressed, depressed from all the demands, directionless, not going anywhere. But yeah, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this short video. Start the YouTube channel, open the investment account, talk to the girl, take the risk, learn a language, make some kind of move, play an instrument, do something that your future self and your kids would be proud of, and be a freaking man, dude. See you in the next one. Bye.